beautiful. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Okay, we got it, we got it, we got it, we got it. Oh my gosh, come on. Dang, come on. All right, and welcome. We are here in X-Plane 11. And I know, X-Plane 11? Well, I still use X-Plane 11 mainly to fly my Cessna 195 Businessliner on FSEconomy. It is a X-Plane 10 plane, and you know, I just love these rotary engine planes. It's a great GA aircraft. It seats 5, and we're going to be taking it on a flight today. We're here in Burlington, Iowa. And if you're on my channel or watching my truck sim videos, you'll know we just were in Burlington, Iowa, exploring the Iowa DLC, an American truck sim. And today we're going to be heading west. And you know what? I'll pull up the iPad here because I'm actually doing that now. So we're going to be heading west today, leaving Burlington, Iowa, and not too long of a flight. I think we're talking about like 70, 75 miles or so. And we're going to Albia, Municipal. It's a small airport, single runway. It's a pretty short flight. I'm a bit rusty in this plane. We'll get it fired up here in a bit, but thank you so much for being here. Hope you enjoy Flight Sim as much as I do, and if not, well, I'll do my best today to have a nice, relaxing flight. Like I said, it'll be a quick trip, and we're going to go ahead and get started. All right, so we are in the cockpit here. First thing we're going to do is go battery on, and we'll go beacon on. And I'm going to go fuel pumps on, get this engine primed here. Mixture comes in, throttle comes all the way in. We can see our fuel flow off to the right. All right, let's cut the throttle out, and mixture comes back all the way to neutral. Fantastic. All right, fuel pump comes off. And this particular rotary engine, normally, you know, having electronic ignition is probably not always going to be the case, but this particular model does, so it makes life a lot easier. So we'll crack the throttle a little bit, and we will fire it up. Clear pop. All right, there we go. And let's get our line. All right, alternator comes on. That's a good start. Let's bring our RPMs up to say 900, and I'll go avionics on.
2677. Have a nice evening there, ma'am. We'll see you.
And that might be a little bit loud. Let's see. All right, so as always, we are using lossless scaling, which is going to give us some hopefully really nice, buttery, smooth frames. I am happy so far with the frames. Talk a little bit about what we have going on in X-Plane 11 as far as scenery, and what we're not running in X-Plane 11, and hopefully will work out just fine. Let's lean this mixture out a bit. Engine's coming up to temp here nicely, and we're at 900 RPM. I'll pull the carb heat out. These old rotary engines, yes, you do need to keep an eye on your carb heat. So we'll keep that above 50 degrees. Keep an eye on that in flight as well. And like I said, we're going to Albia Municipal. And if we pull up our GTN here, I want to get our route loaded in. Got it here on the tablet, but I want to have it here in the airplane itself. So we're at KBRL, which is Burlington, and we are going to 4C8, 4 Charlie 8, Albia Municipal. Fantastic. We're going to go direct shot. Normally put in a flight plan. It is a 76-mile journey today. We're going to be heading pretty much straight west, and terrain is flat. We are here in Iowa. There's not a lot of terrain, you know, mountainous terrain certainly that we have to contend with. Let's get our transponder on. No problem there. And so we're going to get the weather here at Burlington. I think the winds are coming out of the southeast. And so I think we're going to be taxiing to runway 12 for takeoff today, which will have us heading east. We'll make right traffic and make our way heading west towards our destination. Fantastic. We've got, I think, 4 passengers loaded with us, including us, the pilot. So it is a full plane. What I'll do next is go ahead and load up our FSEconomy passengers, and we'll get them on board so we can start our pre-flight checklists and hopefully get airborne here pretty soon. All right, our passengers are loaded up. We have ourselves roughly 34-ish, 35 gallons on board. which is plenty. We should be burning somewhere between 13 and 15 gallons an hour. It is less than an hour flight, should be around 30 minutes of a flight, I would guess. And so we have plenty of fuel to make our trip. In fact, gas here in Burlington at this particular airport is pretty expensive. It's like $4.30 per gallon for unleaded. I don't know, maybe it's leaded. I'm not sure what it is. It is not jet fuel. This is just regular gasoline. And where we're heading to is actually going to be a lot cheaper. It's under $4 a gallon. So we'll actually fill up there. A couple things I need to do before we get airborne. I need to get my information here. So this is an old plane. And by default, this plane does not have any GPS or autopilot. However, with FSEconomy, owning this plane in FSEconomy, it actually has upgraded to GPS, IFR, and nav. So what that means for us here is we get this fancy Garmin GTN navigation system, and we have our autopilot multi-flight panel working for this particular flight today. I'll start keying in our course. Our course is going to be 282 degrees. And so I will key that in here on the screen in front of me. 282 degrees. And for our altitude, you know, we'll probably use autopilot. I guess we'll use autopilot. I'm not going to go that far up here. I think we're currently sitting at around 1,000 feet elevation. And we'll go up to 3,000 feet today. Nothing crazy. Short flight. And if we need to go higher, we can. It is a very clear day today. I don't see a single cloud. So I think we're going to have a nice, clear flight without any issues. All right, so we've got that all situated here. I want to get my ATIS to get our weather. Like I said, I think winds were coming out of 120 degrees east-southeast. And for us today, hopefully it has not changed since the last time I checked it. Our ATIS is going to be 118.025. So that's already keyed up here. Let's bring it over.
Southeast Iowa RGNL weather. Wind 120 at 9. Visibility more than 10. Sky clear. Temperature 24. Dew point 14. Altimeter 3011.
Altimeter 3011. Adjust that real quick. 3011. I think we're good on the autopilot. Got our transponder on. We've got our frequencies all loaded in. We've got our course lined into our autopilot here. Got our altitude selected.
Turning inbound on the GPS runway 5 approach.
Okay, cool, bro. All right, let's try this again. Okay, now it's working. Sorry, I think my tablet was frozen before. So we're going to taxi. We're over here. If you look at my tablet, we're going to taxi north over to Charlie, Alpha, left on Bravo, and take Bravo all the way over to runway 12. All right, so here's Charlie. I'm going to go ahead and turn left onto Charlie, and then right onto Alpha. I see our sign.
Conveyor tower, Cessna 978, circle 5, clear to the northwest, 2,000 feet, climbing 2,500, last call.
All right, beautiful. All right, now we're going to be looking for Bravo. This is Charlie.
Landing traffic, Comanche 739, 2 Papas, 20 miles southeast, will be inbound.
Okay, so this would be Bravo here. It is.
Traffic, Baron 55
Okay,
Lima, 4
we are
miles to
clear
the
left.
east, planning to cross midfield
Clear
for
right,
left
let's cross.
downwind, 36, full stop.
Whoa. This is way too loud. Sorry about that. Cessna 195 Businessliner. This plane is 80 years old. I think the first production was released in 1945, I want to say. It was definitely in the 1940s. And it's got a Jacobs radial 7-cylinder, 300 horsepower engine. I don't know what's going on with my cameras there, sorry. And it is a treat to fly. It is a tail dragger, and I am rusty with these. I have not flown in a bit, but my FSEconomy hangar, I have 3 planes, and I just purchased recently a Piper. Was my 3rd plane. Pretty much use all of my savings. I have around 20 to 30,000, and our monthly fees to own all 3 planes in FSEconomy is like 6,000 a month. All right, we are almost here at the end of the taxiway. Start to slow down. Beautiful. Parking brake on. All right, we are lined up here at runway 12. We are going to get our strobe lights on. Let's get our landing lights on. So here goes nothing. Let's get up in the air. Except we're going to be making right traffic, and then once we're in the downwind, we'll probably leave the pattern and head towards our destination city here. 4 passengers are all buckled up, ready to go. We've done our pre-flight, and we are ready to hit the road. You know what? Let's go pitot heat on. And we don't need our instrument lights. We'll turn those off. So these tail draggers in X-Plane 11, especially something with 300 horsepower like this, we could get into a serious ground loop issue. So I'm going to be very, very mindful of how we get airborne. And that's going to start with a smooth rollout. I'll be pulling back, applying some pressure on the yoke here. Let's get lined up on a center line. And once we get up to like 40 knots or so, we should have the ability to let the tail come up. But we're going to stay planted. We're going to stay on the ground. Once we hit 80 knots or so, we should be able to take off. So ignore the flickering. I am going to slowly bring that throttle in. Bring back some pressure on the yoke. Look at 40 knots here. And there we go. Start easing up that pressure on the yoke. Okay. Tail's off the ground. Okay, feel a little bit of that ground loop. That's okay. Let's hold it steady. This is not going to be a perfect takeoff, but we just want to be nice and smooth here. There we go. We've hit 80. We're at 90 knots. I'll start pulling up. There we go. Beautiful. All right. Whew. We are off. Whoa. Okay. We are off, folks. We did just take off.
We're just cleared to the northeast.
Right. So we are using Map Enhancement, Global Trees. All right. I think ORBX Global Forest or Global Trees, something like that, and Map Enhancement. That is it. Those are the only mods I'm pretty much using. Everything else is default X-Plane. You know what? That might not be true. I think we're using Simhaven, North America Scenery, which is basically like redoes a lot of the roads, the autogen roads and autogen buildings, and lines them up better. Let's go ahead and turn to our crosswind. Oof, wow.
We're going to be taking off right away.
All right. We are almost at 1,000 feet above the field. So I will pause my climb. Go. It's our crosswind. And let's go ahead and turn to our downwind. Beautiful. It runs very smooth. Very, very smooth. Now, obviously, this is not Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, and I'm aware of that. And I played FS 2020, FS 2024 a little bit, and you know what? I just wasn't that impressed.
We're about 4 miles.
All right, so here we go. We can see our field off to our right. Let's change our view here.
160 knots.
All right, so our field is right here off to our right. We are downwind right now, runway 12.
Here shortly, we will get out of your way.
And we'll go ahead and keep climbing.
Well, okay.
Go ahead and exit the pattern here.
We can just circle whatever you need.
We said our altitude is going to be 3,000, so we'll just continue our climb. And we have no real airspace that we have to contend with on this flight. In fact, if I pull up the tablet here, you can see that if we zoom out and look at the route overview, there is no major airspace that we have to be mindful of, so it should be no problem. Alright, let's get back to our view. And let's go back to our captain's chair. And we'll zoom in a bit on the tablet. And we're about to intersect with our waypoint. So I'll start to turn on course. And we are at just under 2,900 feet. So I will hit the nav button.
3 miles to the east, we'll be joining up on the left downwind from runway 18.
And our autopilot has taken over. Beautiful. All right, let's get the rudder trim adjusted here.
461 Bravo Golf joining up on the
Go.
for 18.
And we can bring our mixture back a bit. And we'll bring our prop back a bit.
Left base runway 18 for the grass.
I think I have it mapped for something. Sorry. Here it is. All right, so let's bring our prop back to 2,000 RPM, right there, like so. Keep an eye on the cylinder temperatures, which is sorry about that. All right, so I want to keep an eye on my cylinder temperatures, which is here. We can see we are at 4,000 degrees, 400. I think that's 4,000. Maybe it's 400. It might be 400. And I want to keep an eye on that. And in fact, our engine temperature is already too high, so we need to actually bring our manifold pressure back a bit. And we might not get away with being so lean, but we'll see. These gauges start to go down a bit. We are on course, so I'm not too worried about that. In fact, we're also going to switch over to center. There we go. All right, so our temperatures are coming back down into the green. Oil pressure looks good. EGT is fine. Manifold pressure is just below 15. And I think we might have to live with this for a bit. It seems like it's a pretty warm day. In fact, it definitely is a warm day. We could take a look at it here. On our thermometer, it is 60 degrees up in the air. I'm going to guess it was closer to 70 degrees. Or 65 degrees on the ground. All right, look at the scenery. Fantastic. Fan-freaking-tastic. Let's hop in the back. Which one is it? Here it is. Yeah, so this is Map Enhancement. And ORBX, Global Trees, I think Global Forests, and I want to say Simhaven. So just 3 mods. And I would say this looks as good as I need it to look. It runs absolutely smooth. Again, this is X-Plane 11 final release. And look at the detail with this Ortho Autojet. And the textures, terrain, satellite imagery. We're using Google Maps satellite imagery. And just looking at how the trees are placed, the roads, the river networks. I mean, this is phenomenal. This is absolutely phenomenal. It is not FS 2024 quality, but you know, if you saw what stock X-Plane looked like, this is a wonderful improvement. And one of the reasons why I'm still able to enjoy flying X-Plane 11 and even X-Plane 12 is because of Ortho for XP, Auto Ortho, and in our case here today, Map Enhancement.
Okay, continue to climb up to 210, RAS 43.
All right, we are over halfway there on our journey. We have about 32 miles left to go. We start pulling up some info here for our destination airport. First thing we want to note, elevation is 964 feet, so just below 1,000 feet. We are currently at 3,000 feet. So we are 2,000 feet above the field at the moment. CTAP is going to be 122.8. We'll get that plugged in here. 122.8.
And which heading was after 1 Bravo Victor?
1 Bravo Victor, flight heading of 180.
100?
Excellent. And there is no ATIS.
180, 1 Bravo Victor.
But we can see on the tablet here, the nearby ATIS is, wow, it's 14 miles away. And that ATIS is 3012 is the altimeter. Nearest weather, 3012, 15 miles away. We have winds at 150. Looks like another airport 15 miles away. Wind is at 130 degrees. And again, we have something here at 090 degrees. Okay, so wind's coming again from the east-southeast. And if that is the case, if we look at what our runways are here, our best bet is going to take 13. So what we'll do is we'll probably make left traffic. So at some point we'll want to deviate from our flight plan, maybe within 10 miles or so, and we'll chart a course for 310 degrees to enter in on the downwind of runway 13. We'll make left traffic and come in to land on runway 13 into the wind. So that should be very straightforward. And this will be a visual approach. We won't have to worry about any RNAVs or ILS. This is just going to be a visual approach for us today. Fantastic.
Center November 46 Golf X-ray level 240.
46 Golf X-ray, center rock.
And again, check this out. I'll go out the side window.
4.35.
And again, this is Map Enhancement, ORBX Trees and Forests, and I think Sinhaven, North America. And look, this looks perfectly acceptable to me. I think the biggest difference for us to say, as far as visual improvements, Map Enhancement #1. I think the next thing is probably the Sinhaven, followed by the ORBX. In fact, I think I might be using default X-plane trees. But honestly, as long as you've got photorealistic scenery, I mean, that is so much of the immersion added. And look at that. That looks fantastic. And off our right wing, we have the city of Ottawa. Looking absolutely wonderful there. Love seeing a city where we've got a river cutting through it. That looks great. Alright, so we are getting close now to our destination. We are 6 miles away. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and set up my course bug to runway 13. Right? Was it 13? I think it was. 13, yes it is. Okay, so we'll adjust our needle here. You'll see it on the instrument panel up here. We're going to move this dial to capture a course of 130 or 130 degrees. This is going to be our runway heading. There we go. And what we're going to do is turn towards 320 so that we can start to parallel the runway here.
3285, slide 3
Go. Let's turn nav heading mode, and our plane will start to turn. And hopefully we'll go along. There's, I think, a highway or a road that goes along the airport, and hopefully we'll catch that. Now we're still 3 miles from the airport. I don't see it, but it should be off to our left and below us. And I will start descending. We're going to go down to 2,000 feet.
17,000 FedEx 70.
There we go. Let's bring her down to 2,000. And again, we're still autopilot. That's no problem. And we should see our airport off our nose to the left somewhere. Again, I'm looking for a road. I don't know. I don't see anything. We're so close. I should be able to see it. In fact, is this it here? Is that it? Let me zoom in a little more.
Southwest 784, contact center 128.6.
Nope. Uh-oh. Wow, at low elevation, this looks amazing. I'm so pleased, again, to have photorealistic scenery running and getting amazing frames per second. Now, we're using an X-Plane 10 plane in X-Plane 11, so this is not a very systems-heavy plane at all. But it looks phenomenal. It is running really smooth. And I don't know if I'll use X-Plane for anything other than my old tail draggers or just old planes that don't work in X-Plane 12. And sadly, this particular plane does not work in X-Plane 12. I don't know how to port it into X-Plane 12. So for me, there's still a need to have X-Plane 11. And I'm grateful to have it here with us today. All right, so I want to start our turn to our crosswind. So we'll start our left-hand turn here.
Turn out of 5173, ascend descending altimeter 299er.
29er, Cherokee 173.
220 degrees should be our crosswind. Or sorry, yeah, our crosswind.
FedEx 70, climbing maintain flight level 210.
And I'll start to bring my speed back a bit. There we go. Oh man, we are not going to catch this at all. I think this is our highway. We need to turn left. So let's do that. I'm going to go autopilot off. And we'll hand fly it towards the airport. Again, we're at 2,000 feet.
Launch to 620. Descended via the Olan 1 arrival. Maintain 2000, descending altimeter 299er.
There we go.
Roger, we'll descend via the Ola 1 arrival, access maintain 2000, 299er, launch to 620.
And I think we should be dead on so we can see the airport ahead of us. Oh, I see it. Okay, we're a little bit off.
2435, rise to 24.
So I will get lined up with it. It is directly off to our 11 o'clock, and there is our runway there. So go mixture full. And at some point, I think I'll need to bring the flaps in. Now, the flaps in this plane, unfortunately, are all or nothing, and they do not produce any lift. They produce drag only.
31, climbing 11.2 for 14,000.
Let's get over to our Unicom traffic.
39.
There we go. And let's get in for our final here. All right, so we've got our PAPI lights. Looks like we are low, if I had to guess. It looks like those are 4 reds. They are. So we are low. That's no problem. I'm going to go ahead and bring in my flaps now and check this out. When I drop the flaps, like I said, it's all or nothing. The plane is going to want to rocket up. So it is our job to keep that pressure. We're going to lose a ton of speed. And now we need to bring the throttle back in slowly. And right now we've got 2 white, 2 red. So let's try to hit 500 feet per minute. There we go. We're at 70 knots. I'm sorry, we are at 70 miles an hour indicated. Yes, I should note here that these old planes, the airspeed indicator is not in knots, it is in miles per hour. So we're at 70 miles per hour, flaps are full. And we are coming in here for our approach. Zoom all the way back out. And this is the hardest part for me of landing, is getting the plane down, lined up on our front wheels, letting the airspeed bleed off. Get a little bit low. Let's bring that nose up. Letting that airspeed bleed off and avoiding a ground loop issue and letting that tail wheel drop down without losing control of the aircraft. All right, we're a little low still. Let's bring the power up. Let's get back to 2 white and 2 red. There we go. Let's bring that power back out a little bit. And again, we're pretty much going into the wind. So we barely have any crosswind to have to deal with. I do feel like I'm a little bit crooked.
Start my check.
Man. Fingers crossed. Alright, speed is slowing.
Traffic November 2961 Bravo will be entering downwind for runway 33, about 3 miles to the north.
There we go. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Hold it. Come on. Hold it. There we go. Tap those brakes. Oh, we're turning off. Okay, we got it, we got it, we got it, we got it. Oh my gosh, come on. Come on. Oh, it's ground loop. Oh, man. Dang. Come on. Boy. It's these tail draggers. I cannot. Ay, ay, ay. Oh gosh, let's just watch this replay and see how we did here. Alright, so we look pretty good on the approach. We got our flaps fully extended. Things look stabilized. We're making small corrections. Nothing too crazy here, to be honest. Again, we were coming in around 70, 65 miles an hour. Just trying to get lined here. We can see a little bit of tail deflection. And I started my flare. And look at this. Nice, soft landing. Whoop, whoop. Ah, this is where it started to get a little bit out of hand. And I could see I was trying to keep the plane on the center line without too much input. I wanted to bring that tail down. We weren't really slowing down. And once right here is where it just all went sideways. Oh my gosh. All right, let's see this landing one more time. Again, I like the approach. Nice and smooth. It was just once we touched down, trying to get the tail wheel down safely, we just did not manage our speeds well. Boom, there's our touchdown. A little bit of bouncing. Here's me trying to keep it straight. Come on, come on, come on. We were trying. And there's where it all went wrong. See ya. Look at this drift. Oh my goodness. Wow. How embarrassing. Alright, well, we'll park here. Let's get our parking brake on. Let's go landing lights off, strobe lights off. Avionics off. Go alternator off. Mixture full lean. There we go. Throttle all the way cut. Let's go magnetos off. And then we'll go battery off. Beautiful. All right, let's get this flight ended. Let's get our passengers unloaded. All right, well, thank you so much for tuning in today. This was just a flight sim video, not too crazy, but I really enjoyed getting to see X-Plane in this new light with map enhancement and getting to fly my beloved Cessna 195 Businessliner. As always, I hope you take care, and I'll see you in the next one.